Whoa! What's up, everyone? I'm sorry it's been so long since I've done a video, but I'm excited today. I'm going to take these dwarf scheflerras, this pot, and this rock, and we're going to try to do something really fun with them today. Let's do it! So, what I want to do today is take these dwarf scheflerras, which I got at Lowe's for, you can see the price there, $3. I got 2 of them, and what I'm going to try to do today is combine them into one pot, which is this one right here, with this rock. And I'm going to try to do a sort of root over rock type planting, and since I'm going to do 2 plants, I might wire them together just so they start to grow together. But I'll show you what I did with these plants. I bought them a couple months ago, and I'd cut them right here. They were a lot taller, and I cut them because I wanted them to actually bud out a lot more. So you can see that actually did happen. It's starting to bud out a lot of these little other places that I'd cut them, and just so it's a thicker leaf structure. And yeah, it's done pretty well. I actually did wrap them for a while to try to get some aerial roots going, but I got a little impatient and just thought, well, you know what? I just want to plant it in a nice pot. I'm tired of looking at it in these pots, so I took the plastic off, and it was good though, because these little leaves started sprouting. So what I'm going to do is try to combine them into this little pot right here and see how we can do it. Now this pot was probably only $5. These are both $3, so we're looking at 6 plus 5. You know, you're at $11, $12 for this whole setup. So let's see what we can do with it. So this is going to be a really easy project, I think, because I'm not really going to do much or any trimming on these because I actually like how they look right now, and I'm only going into this pot over this rock, so it should be a pretty easy project, and you know, hopefully they don't die in the process. We're in beginning of November here, Southern California, still of course pretty hot, but yeah, hopefully these things will do well. I've had some other plants do well planting this time of the year, so I'm going to take my chances. So first thing we're going to do is get the soil ready. Alright, so I got my soil here. The scheflerra, dwarf scheflerra, the scientific name is Scheflerra arboricola. These guys are native to Taiwan and Hainan, and they're really commonly seen as house plants and like office plants and things, and they're great for people who are bad at taking care of plants because they take to neglect very well. They tolerate bad lighting conditions and watering conditions pretty well. They're really hardy, and I've seen some incredible bonsais done with these things. There's a bonsai nursery in Hawaii called Fuku Bonsai, and they have some incredible dwarf scheflerra bonsais. You should go to their website and check it out, or if you're in Hawaii, you should definitely go to their nursery. They have some amazing specimens, and yeah, so they're really cool, really hardy, and so that's why I'm hoping that they will both transplant really well and do really well in this little pot here. I even have a friend who got one of these from Fuku Bonsai, and it's grown around a rock. It's not even in a pot. It's grown, the roots are wrapped around a rock, and he just soaks it every once in a while. It is so cool looking. So I'm hoping to do something not quite that extreme, but I want them to kind of grow over this rock and just kind of morph together into each other. So let's see what we can do. Now, if you look up bonsai versions of these, you'll notice that there's lots of them that have aerial roots. These guys aerial root really well in humid conditions, so I'm hoping to do some stuff with that too in the future with these guys. So clear out the dirt. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some water for them. Boom. Alright, so now I'm going to look at my rock placement, how I want it to look. And this rock has some cool features, a lot of cool crags and cracks in it and stuff. Honestly, I think it'll look good. I think it'll look good at any angle I put it at. So, sorry if you hear the wind, it's kind of windy today. Yeah, have that be the front of the pot. I think I'll go with an upright. I think I'll go with an upright look like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting some soil in, and which I have pretty gritty soil. Actually, you know what? I forgot my screens. Be right back. Alright, so I got my screen. Can't forget that. Oopsie. So I'm going to start putting some soil in here. And not too much, because I don't want to make it hard to get my roots in there in a little bit. But enough to where I could start placing the rock. I think I like it like this, kind of at an angle towards the corner. And what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to have a scheflerra on either side, and I think I'm going to wire them together up here to where they kind of angle together over the rock. And then I think I'm going to experiment with maybe wrapping it again and seeing if I can get some aerial roots to start growing down the rock from the stalks of the plant. So here's my two plants. So I think maybe I'll go a little bit higher with the soil. It's actually going to be a little bit difficult to get the roots. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pile it up in the middle here so I can get the rock elevated, and then I could leave some space in the corners for the roots of the plants, and see how this will work. I'm a total newbie, just so everyone knows who's watching me with disgust on my technique. But you know, we're all learning. I'm learning. It's fun. So we're gonna see how it turns out. So got the rock placed about right there, and now we have some good space on either side for the roots. So let's see what we can do with this. Got our two plants. Now I'm looking at there's nothing too striking on either of the plants that really stands out to me as front or back. So I'm probably just going to bring them together about like this, and yeah, I might push the rock down a little bit in there a little bit, and then yeah, let's get those roots tucked in there. Don't think I'm going to trim any of the roots just because they're already in really small nursery pots. So I'm just going to kind of tuck them in. Of course, you can't forget your chopstick. That's your soil presser in between roots tool. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not going to wire this tree into place just because they're already sort of wedged in here, and I felt like it was a little difficult. There were not enough defined roots to really wire to as far as holding it to the pot. So I'm just going to make sure I'm careful with how I treat this guy until the roots start getting more stable in there. So that's what we got so far. So now what I'm going to do is give it a water down, and then I'm probably gonna wire these trees together to each other just to have them start growing into each other. Maybe that would be possible. That would look super cool, and then we'd get one thick tree out of it eventually. So yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we're back from watering. Everything's nice and damp, and so now I've kind of got this mass of leaves in here. So I'm probably going to trim a little bit just so I can get some wire in there. But I don't want to trim too much just because a lot of this is growth that I wanted to grow on here. So I'm going to try to weave a wire in here a little bit just to pin these two together and make it look like one tree with bigger roots coming down from it. And eventually, I don't know if they will, but eventually I'm hoping they'll intertwine at least and kind of look a lot more like one tree. And then I'm going to try to get more aerial roots to spread throughout the whole thing over this rock. So let's get some wire going and let's kind of move some leaves, see where I'm going to wire it together at. And, okay, I think I see how I'm going to do it. Got some of this cheap wire from Home Depot, steel galvanized wire. Don't need very much, just enough to pin them together. Kind of weave through the leaves. Alright, so that took way longer than I expected to wire. Wow. It actually looks a little bit hokey right now, but again, I'm hoping after time it will start growing and looking a little bit more natural. But yeah, let's dive in. I think I'm done for now. I don't want to trim any of it. I just want some foliage to grow out, and I especially want the... Oh, actually, you know what? Come to think of it, I might trim a little bit just to relieve the plant of just the stress of being transplanted, but I'll let you know. And let's dive in and take a closer look at what we've got. And I think we're done for now. Alright, well that was really fun and really easy. I'm happy with how this looks. It doesn't look amazing yet, but I think over time, as the foliage starts growing and as the branches thicken up, it'll start looking really cool. You know, assuming they survive. But yeah, I think it's gonna look really neat. All these leaves here were leaves that grew after I trimmed it, like I talked about earlier in the video, after I trimmed it when I first got it, and so these grew vigorously in a couple of weeks. So I'm hoping over the next couple of months this thing will really start to spread out and look really cool. So hope you enjoyed this episode of Poor Man's Bonsai. I had fun with this project. Hopefully you can do a project like this, and yeah, until next time, stay budget friendly. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks.